So, did you know that all the experiences that you've had in this lifetime, the people you've attracted, the kind of situations you found yourself in, didn't just happen by chance? They are a result of every single action, every single choice you made, not just in this lifetime, but also in previous lifetime. We usually incarnate in situations that are an energetic match to who we are at soul level. So that means at the end of your last incarnation, whoever you had become in that lifetime determines who you became in this lifetime, determine where you are going to be born, which country, which parents you're going to have, because all of that was a vibrational match to who you are at soul level. In this video, I'm going to be helping you understand how your everyday actions, every choice you make, is actually contributing to the kind of future that you're creating for yourself. Again, not just in this lifetime, but also in your next lifetime. And basically, just being aware that every action is either adding to create more positive karma and more positive experiences for yourself, or actually debiting that balance and creating more negative karmic influences in your life. So hi, my name is Eva. I work with two modalities, one which is based on working with the Akashic record, the soul element. The soul element is actually helping you get in touch with your soul identity. Who are you really? Despite all these people who've told you who are you at soul level? Soul element actually answers that question for you and help you identify your soul unique gifts that you're actually meant to leverage to create your current human experience. And the second modality is called quantum flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system, helping you release any old wounds, emotional wounds, past trauma that most people don't actually know are not just within your mind's memory system, but also recorded within your body, connected to your nervous system, which is actually connected to your unconscious mind and shapes how you show up in the world. So I'm going to be sharing more on that at the end of this video, so make sure you tune in until the end to see if this beautiful modalities can be a great fit for you and whatever you're currently experiencing in your journey right now. So back to today's topic, which is all about the karmic balance of your soul. So this is how this analogy was framed in my mind when I got the download. It's that all of us are working towards something. All our souls are trying to evolve to get back to somewhere, right? Highest level of ascension, basically. And essentially, it is our mandate or our duty to master our current reality before we move on to the next vibrational experience for your soul. So it might sound a bit complicated, but just stick with me right now. I'm going to explain better. So assume that your highest achievement for your soul is getting to the highest level of ascension. I mean, we're talking about the levels of Buddha, Jesus Christ, all those ascended masters who basically walked on earth. That's the level that we're aspiring to, because that's the only way we get to transcend this reality and go into the next reality. That's what we're working towards. And to do that, we have to master the self. We have to master the language of love. We have to master how to work in the light and master the whole thing with unity consciousness and oneness and so much more, right? But again, this video is not about that. This is about your positive and negative karmic balance. So assuming that highest level of evolution, that's what you're working on, that's the level we're all aspiring to. So every decision you make, every action you take, every thought, every word, all of that is helping you get to that level. Okay, picture this. If you have a goal to save maybe to $1 million, right, that's what you're aspiring to get in your lifetime. Obviously, unless someone is actually handing to you the 1 million, you know the process to get to the 1 million is not going to be easy, right? There's a lot of work that you have to do to get to that balance. It might mean that maybe every single day you're saving just a little bit, $100 here, $20 here, $1,000 here, depending on the day, depending on the month and all of that, right? To get to that 1 million. This is how your soul works. So highest level of ascension, that's what you're working towards. That's basically what we're all trying to evolve. And every single lifetime, every single thing that you do in each lifetime is contributing to help you get to that. Every experience, every lesson learned is helping you get to that level. So just like when you're saving the 1 million, obviously you cannot be given the highest level of ascension, because that denies you the experience, the knowingness of what all these life lessons have actually taught you. Because again, I can tell you about what love is, but the experience of love is completely different. So when you're on this plane, when you're on earth, you're here to basically experience get their understanding, because once you truly understand through experience what love is, it's easy for you to gain wisdom from that, rather than someone just explaining to you, oh, love feels like this and all of that. So here, when you're on this plane, it's basically all your experiences are actually contributing to your ascension, because they're helping you develop deeper understanding of who you actually are. That's how I want you to look at it, okay? So again, $1 million, that's what you're working towards. Today you save 1,000, tomorrow you save 2,000, and all of that. And you're constantly working on that every single day, every single month, every single week, depending on your goals and how you're going to go about achieving that $1 million. Some days you might even credit it with 100,000 or 200,000, things happen, right? And this is what happens with the soul, that there are certain lifetimes that you've done so much work that you actually credit that balance or that account with like 500,000 or something, because of all the experiences, all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you've gathered in this current incarnation, whatever lifetime that was. So you've been working towards that every single lifetime. Again, remember, you can't get to 1 million just like that. It's a process. This is what your soul has been working on for so many lifetimes. How many? That depends on you and your soul's evolution and how fast you're able to integrate certain lessons, because so many souls actually get stuck on one lesson for a very long time. And believe me, you don't move on to the next lesson until you master the lesson that you meant to master in whatever lifetime you're incarnating to. So if, for example, your entire soul's evolution has been maybe to just master forgiveness, right? Not your entire soul's evolution, but one of the lessons has been to master forgiveness. And every single lifetime you keep finding yourself in circumstances that are trying to trigger that for you, but you just don't get it. So you'll keep on coming another lifetime, another lifetime, another lifetime, until you actually embody that lesson. You don't move on to the next until you master the forgiveness. That's literally what happens, okay? So again, let's go back to the analogy of savings, right? So sometimes you might actually get stuck, and maybe once you reach 100,000, you're not able to do anything else to get to the next 100,000, because so much has happened in your life. So this is where you get stuck, right? Certain souls go through that, but eventually they get their footing, they master the lesson, and then they move on to the next. So in this case, now you're able to go to the next 10,000 or 50,000 in your balance, right? And you've been doing that every single lifetime. But here's what now I want you to really keep in mind, that every single action that you take, I want you to focus on the action, because decision and action are very different, okay? You can decide to cook something, but the actual cooking of that takes a lot of effort. So when I'm talking about choices, I'm actually talking about the action, not the decision that you make in your mind. It's the action you take. That is what actually determines what you credit into that account balance, because that is what actually gives you the experience, not just thinking about it, okay? So every single action you take is actually helping you contribute or debit that balance. That's how I want you to look at it. So assuming that maybe something happens in your life and you start debiting that account, okay? So maybe you have an emergency, you go and debit with maybe $100 because you really needed that money. Okay, fine. Maybe $100 won't make much of a difference. You still have, maybe, let's say you had gotten to 600,000. So if you're withdrawing $100, that won't make a difference, right? It won't make a dent in that balance. And then the next day, you're like, okay, another emergency, you go withdraw another 100, and you might do that for some time. So initially, when you're withdrawing 1,000 and you have a balance of 600,000 or something, it won't feel like you're doing much. It will be like, I can still survive this, I can still get this back. But picture this, you're doing that on a daily freaking basis, not even daily basis. Every single minute you're withdrawing 1,000. Every single second, you're withdrawing that 1,000. How fast will you actually debit that balance to zero, right? Every single action you take actually is either contributing or debiting that balance in your soul's account. So if you're making choices that are truly aligned to who you are, remember, positive and negative karmic choices are very different for all of us. So karma, basically, in this frame of reference, karma is basically the energetic mechanism where it turns the energetic quality of a choice into the energetic quality of the consequence. So if you make a choice, a certain action, maybe with the intention or the underlying intention of greed, you're doing something out of greed, then the energetic consequence of that will be aligned with the energy of greed. So you'll be basically getting the consequence that is aligned more to the energy of greed. That's how basically karma work. And karma works 24/7. So never assume that there's a moment that karma clock just, switches off and you're like, I can get away with this. Because this is literally how people live their lives. So again, picture this. You have a balance of 600,000. Today I withdraw 1,000, tomorrow $100, and all of that won't make much of a difference. This is what people do. So you make certain decisions that are not fully aligned to who you are, and because it doesn't feel like you've done anything wrong, you're not experiencing the karmic consequence of that really fast. You're like, I got away with it, let me try it again. And this is how people start making negative choices that start debiting that soul karmic balance for yourself, that positive karma that you've built up for yourself. So initially, when you're making the negative choices, guess what? It's not gonna feel like you're like any consequences coming out of that, right? Because you still have a lot of balance. But do that constantly on a single day, every single moment you're making that negative choice. How fast are you gonna deplete that balance for yourself? So you might not feel the effect, but eventually you're gonna get to a level, and this eventually might even take lifetimes. Okay, so you might not experience the negative karmic consequences of that in this lifetime. It could be maybe 2-3 lifetimes from now, where you're starting to feel the effects like, holy crap, what the hell is happening? Nothing seems to be working in my life. You might even be experiencing that consequence in this current lifetime based on your current experiences, because you, in so many of your previous lifetimes, you were making negative choices and sticking to that and not trying to get yourself out of it at all. So you debited that account slowly. And that's the worst place to be in, because once that balance hits zero and starts going into the negative, that's when things around you just stop working out. Now all of a sudden it's such a struggle. Your health has been suffering, your relationships, you keep on attracting the wrong kind of people over and over and over again, and you're like, what the hell is going on? What did I do to make myself experience this? So if you're going through this right now, take comfort in the sense that it's not just about this lifetime. It's probably what you did in previous lifetimes as well that's contributing to what you're currently experiencing right now. Ideally, the best reality will be where you cut yourself or burn yourself with the fire, and then you experience the consequences of that, and then never touch that fire again. That would be the ideal reality. But we live in a very dense world where the karmic consequences take a long time for you to experience. So by the time you get into that consequence, it's probably been lifetimes that you, to the point that you're not even able to connect the dots, like, oh, I'm experiencing this current experience because I did that in that lifetime, or I did that maybe 10 years, 20 years ago. Now I'm starting to experience the consequence. It takes such a long time. Most people don't know this. So when shit starts hitting the fan, and they're just looking around like, what the hell is happening? What is going on? Remember, so many choices have contributed to what you're currently experiencing right now. And I'm not saying this to absolve you or make you feel like a victim, like, oh, now things are happening to me. Remember, you made all those choices. No one took the action for you. You chose intentionally to continue committing those acts. For whatever reason, I don't know. Choices that went against who you were designed to be. And eventually, when the consequences catch up, it's the karmic wheel of life. You cannot evade that. That's the universal law. So if you're experiencing the consequences right now, please know there's a reason for that. It's not happening to you. It's happening because of certain choices you've made that created that consequence. And now you're just experiencing the after effects of that. But then take comfort in the sense that if you chose and you took all those actions, then you also have the power to undo all the wrong that you did. So let's go back to the bank balance, that 1 million. You've been withdrawing 1,000. Now you're going into the negative, right? What are you going to do? So you have the option of just saying, poor me, oh my Lord, I don't have money and all of that, and not doing anything, but then you're stuck in debt. You still have to pay the bills. You still have to do a couple of things. What are you going to do? You have to hustle your way out of it. You have to come up with a plan of how you're going to get yourself and dig yourself out of that hole. So in this case, with your soul's experience, is now starting to make choices that are generating more positive karma for yourself. It doesn't matter at what point you're starting, because you can change that if you so choose at this very moment. You can change all of that. So don't lose hope and say like it's too late and everything is not working out and all of that, so now there's no point of me doing anything. No. The minute you realize that I can do something, you start making those choices right now. Obviously, getting back to that previous balance is not gonna be a walk in the park. You're gonna have to put in a lot of effort to get yourself back up, right? I mean, you're going into the negative. You're already in the negative right now. So building yourself up back again to that 600,000, to that 1 million, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna again take some time. So give yourself that time to do that. Because most people want the fast, easy result. Like you just want boom, someone just does their magic on you, and then boom, I have $1 million. And okay, maybe it works sometimes, but not all the time. If your blueprint still has the memory of that, okay, you might manifest that, but if you're not an energetic match to that level of money, you're not gonna keep it. You're gonna lose it. So doing the work to get yourself back to where you are, that's gonna take a lot of work for you. And work is what most people don't like. They just want the easy way out. They want you to just wave your wand, and be like, shoo, all your problems are gone away. But remember, to get to the highest level of ascension, the lessons you learn, the wisdom you gain from your experience is so important. So it's not even a failure. You're still learning something, even if you debited your count to, the negative balance. You're still learning something from that. That understanding of, oh, this is what I did. This is the reason why, now I'm in debt. Because I was buying things I probably shouldn't have bought. I shouldn't have probably touched that money. Maybe I should have invested elsewhere, and all of that. You're still learning. So use those lessons so that you don't make that mistake again when you start building yourself up again. Because once you get back to that original balance, if at all you've integrated the lessons that you're meant to learn, you're never going to find yourself down back again. And this is literally what life is about. So once you learn the lessons, you don't have to relearn them. I mean, I don't have to teach you what 2 + 2 is 4, right? You already know that. So me taking you back to kindergarten class or whatever to teach you A, B, C, D is pointless. You can hear me, you can understand me perfectly. That will be a waste of time. So once your soul integrates those lessons, that's it. Moving on to the next. But again, remember, every single action matters. Don't go with this concept of, oh, you only live once. No, you live so many lifetimes. So many lifetimes. And if you want to take care of the kind of life you're going to incarnate to next, every choice you're making currently is going to contribute to that. So really think long and hard, right? Every single action. If you're doing something because maybe you're jealous or you're this, whatever energetic intention is underlying your actions, please think long and hard. Do I really want to experience the consequence of this, the energetic consequence in this manner? Do I want to be attracting the same kind of experiences that are aligned with jealousy, with betrayal and all of that for the rest of my life or for any other lifetime I'm going to be? Do I want to continue experiencing the consequences of that? Because if the answer is no, then think twice before you take that action. I'm not saying it looks scary. I'm just telling you karma works 24/7. It never stops working. So never stop and think like, ooh, I can get away with this. Okay, you might get away with it now. And then tomorrow you do it again, and then, okay, maybe get away with that. And then you do it again and again and again and again and again. Eventually, you'll just slowly be depleting that balance. And the crazy part is that none of us knows how far we've evolved to. We don't have access to that information currently when you're incarnated. Maybe when we transition to the other side, maybe you can get an idea of what you've done. But when we're here, we don't have access to that, right? Most of us, unless maybe you're trained for that. We don't have access to how far we've evolved to. So you don't know, right now you might risk and say, I'm just going to make this negative choice, like it's not going to do much, right? Okay, fine. What if that one choice is what actually triggers you to go into the negative balance? Because you don't have awareness of what that balance is. So yes, you can get away with it today, tomorrow, the next day, the next month. But a year from now, boom, that one last action and you don't know what action it is that you're going to take, that's going to just take you straight into the negative, you don't know. So why take the risk? So really be aware that every single decision, not decision, every single choice, and by choice again I mean action, it matters. And again, look at that analogy. Am I crediting or am I debiting that account? That's how I want you to look at it. And again, I'm not saying this to scare you and to make you like, oh my god, now I have to be perfect. No, because life is all about making mistakes, right? Things happen. So I'm not saying it to scare you, because again, you can course correct, right? If I withdraw $100 today, maybe I won't feel the consequence of that. But tomorrow something could happen, I can credit that and even credit more. Maybe I withdraw 100 and tomorrow I do something that credits that with 1,000. So every single day you actually get a chance to, credit that account based on your actions. So don't be scared that, oh my lord, if I make a mistake, then boom, I go into the negative. That's it, that's the end of me. No. If you're here, you're watching me, you're watching this and listening to me right now, you still have the power to make certain changes that will get you back to your highest level of evolution. So I hope this all resonated with you and kind of made sense. If you have more questions, let me know in the comments. If you have your thoughts, your ideas on this, again, share your thoughts in the comments down below and let me know from you basically. How are you gonna use this words, this information that I've given you? How is that going to shape the life you're experiencing going forward? Right? Just being aware that every single action, every single decision, every single choice I make is either contributing or taking me away from the kind of life I want to experience. Do I want that? What do I actually want? Be aware of that and make good choices for yourself going forward. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any moment or any time I actually share beautiful content like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of what you would love for me to talk about in future sessions. And I did promise I was going to share with you how the two beautiful modalities that I offer to my clients. I actually have a beautiful program that I launched this year called the Spiritual Mastery Program, which is actually going to help you awaken so much for yourself. It actually combines these two modalities. So again, with soul realignment is helping you get in touch with who you actually are. We live in a world where there is a ton of information, like do this to have success, do that, like it's crazy, right? So if you have no awareness of who you are and how you're meant to create, it's easy to get lost in the mix and trying out everything, and then you try something and over and over again you keep on failing and you sit down and wonder like, why isn't this working for me and yet it's working for that person? There's a reason behind that. There's a reason as to why certain things don't work for you as well as they work for other people. And with soul alignment, I'm actually helping you identify your own unique abilities, your own unique path. What are you here to contribute in your own way? That's the beauty of it. And then with the reading, you actually get to know what choices you're currently making right now, not just in this lifetime, but also in previous lifetimes, that might be contributing to the kind of people and the kind of experiences that you've attracted in this current lifetime. So helping you understand how your everyday actions are actually helping you with this. Now, based on the conversation we've had today, this can actually be so pivotal in helping you generate more positive karmic experiences for yourself going forward based on the actions you take. Because now when you know who you are, and now when you know how you're meant to show up in the world, going forward, now you'll actually have an idea of what choices will contribute to your positive karmic experiences and what choices will take you away from that. You get to know that unique soul blueprint that you are. And the next thing is that you get to release all these stories, all these memories, all these energetic imprints in your soul blueprint that are currently affecting the kind of experience you're having right now. So we get to heal all of this, release all of this with the Akashic records, okay? So this is what you will receive from a soul realignment reading. With quantum flow, it's about using techniques such as breathwork, sound, and movement. And I know it sounds so simple, right? But with quantum flow, it's really helping you. It targets your nervous system, okay? And it's not just working on one part of your life, it's working on your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your energetic well being. So you're not just focused on one thing, you're actually working on all your different chakras, okay? That's the beauty of quantum flow. Because most of these modalities that are here, that for healing and all of that, and again, I'm not saying this just to dissuade you from whatever you might be tapping into. But what I found from my experience is that a lot of that just focused on one section of your life. And yes, eventually you do get to the healing aspect, right? But you find that getting to that, it takes such a long time. And with quantum flow, it actually accelerates that for you. Because again, it's targeting these different areas of your life. It accelerates your healing. It accelerates your growth and transformation, where you find that you're waking up a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, and you're not thinking the way you thought for a very long time. Like, I can tell you stories of how there's certain days I wake up and I'm like, I'm facing the same triggers I've been facing for such a long time, and I'm just not triggered anymore. And I have no idea what happened. Well, I do, because again, I do quantum flow every single day, and it's been such a game changer for me, which I will want for all my clients as well. So quantum flow is going to give you the experience of that and so much more. If you're curious about these two modalities, maybe you're not sure, are they a fit for what I'm going through though? I invite you to book a discovery call with me, just a 15 to 30-minute call where we're actually going to determine whether this program will be a good fit for you or not. I hope to see you on the other side. For now, sending you so much love and blessings, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.